Hey guys, it's Adi here with MyNokiaBlog, and this is our review of Nokia's first ever 6-inch phone, the Nokia Lumia 1520. So the Nokia Lumia 1520 is Nokia's first large screen device at 6 inches. It is the largest Nokia phone, disregarding the Nokia Lumia 2520, which is of course a 10.1-inch tablet. How did Nokia do with making their first attempt at a phablet, and how good is it? Let's check it out. Starting off with the actual design of the phone, it is a flawless traditional Lumia design with beautiful curves and a very comprehensive and complete design that's obviously been refined over time with the previous Lumia devices. The main changes you'll spot in the larger 6-inch device, besides the larger screen of course, which has a beautiful 1080p display, is the fact that the Windows key buttons are now grouped together closer at the bottom. This makes it easier for you to reach the back button rather than having to reach all the way to the end of the screen. It's closer to the middle of the screen and makes it more accessible. Same with the Bing button if you're a left-hand user. Another thing you might notice about the Nokia Lumia 1520 is that it's actually quite thin compared to other Nokia Lumias. The Nokia Lumia 1520 is only 8.7mm thin, and that's quite an achievement given the amount of technology in this thing. In terms of the design of the Nokia Lumia 1520, it actually has a lot in common with the metal-bodied Lumia 925. It has the same slightly raised camera hump on the back, the same strong corners, and the same overall design, except it's made in polycarbonate instead of aluminum. The polycarbonate on the Lumia 1520 is available in 4 colors. You can get it in matte black, matte yellow, such as what we have, glossy red, or glossy white. We of course went with a glossy yellow, and we don't regret it at all. The color is very vibrant and very nice to look at. It reminds me of a yellow highlighter sort of color, except it has a matte finish, which makes it more grippable in your hand, which is something you want when dealing with a 6-inch device. One thing to note about the Nokia Lumia 1520's design is the fact that the corners are actually quite sharp, so holding it in 2 hands like this can actually be quite uncomfortable for some time. And also holding it in 1 hand, the corners might end up digging into the palms of your hand. It's not the end of the world, but it can be sometimes a bit uncomfortable. One of the main selling points of the Lumia 1520 is of course its gorgeous large display. It has a 6-inch 1080p Full HD display with a PPI of 368, which makes it very nice and pleasing to look at. Not to mention the fact that you can now fit more tiles in on Windows Phone, giving you an even more colorful and more interactive interface to deal with. The Lumia 1520 screen is an LCD IPS display with Gorilla Glass 2 and Nokia's famous clear back display, which makes it very visible in direct sunlight. It also has the high sunlight visibility mode, which gives a pastel color on the screen, allowing you to view it more clearly in direct sunlight. The Lumia 1520 also has Nokia's super sensitive touch, which allows you to use the screen and navigate the device while wearing gloves, mittens, or anything else you might have on your hands. The other major selling point of the Nokia Lumia 1520 is its Zeiss PureView 20 megapixel camera, which takes some amazing photos and has a very nice performance. The camera takes some beautiful low light photos thanks to its optic image stabilization and has some very nice quality to it even while taking these images. The other major factor about the Nokia Lumia 1520 camera is, unlike the 1020 and other previous Lumia devices, it can focus on close-up subjects quite easily and captures a lot of detail. Of course, in pitch dark, it does struggle. It's no Lumia 1020, of course, but the results are pretty pleasing, and at least it gives you a nice black color instead of the usual blue noisy tint that other devices throw around. In fact, I think the color reproduction on photos taken with the Lumia 1520 are actually more accurate than those taken on the 1020, which can be deceiving due to capturing in more light. So, if you're looking for accurate color reproduction, don't worry, the Lumia 1520 has that. The Lumia 1520's main camera also captures beautiful 1080p display thanks to the optical image stabilization, which reduces shakiness. It also has beautiful sound recording due to the rich recording thanks to the 4 microphones found on the Lumia 1520, where you have one over here on the bottom, and one in the earpiece and one in the speaker piece, which gives you a very nice surround sound capture and has some of the best audio capture I've ever seen. The front-facing camera on the Lumia 1520 is slightly disappointing. It captures images nicely, but it still has the same graininess that you can expect from Nokia's devices. I really wish Nokia would put a proper front-facing camera in the device, or at least something that can capture 1080p video. But for taking the casual selfies, it does get the job done. One very important thing about the Lumia 1520 that I mentioned in my performance video was the fast capture times. As you can see here, once the image is captured, you're almost ready to go to capture another image right after that. And you can also see the proper focus while in close-up images, which comes very useful when trying to take detailed pictures. Another thing worth noting is that although the Lumia 1520 speakers are on the back of the device, they are actually very loud. Check this out. So Lumia 1520 will actually help you listen in crowded areas and you won't have any trouble watching a YouTube video or listening to a song on the go. Hopefully though, you'll be considerate and use headphones when listening to your own music in public. Lumia 1520 also has a pretty awesome battery. With a 3200 milliamp battery, it can easily get you through the day and more. As you can see here, I've charged it 10 hours ago and I still have more than 7 hours left to go. This is usually with cellular data and wireless on and almost no problems getting you through the day. Another thing you'll be happy to hear about is the fact that Lumia 1520 very rarely and probably never overheats and gets very hot, unlike the Lumia 920 and other devices, which is nice to hear. The Lumia 1520 also has a Snapdragon 800 processor with an Adreno 330, which makes it a beautiful gaming device and has some very nice gaming potential. You should check out the video I did of a gaming performance of the Lumia 1520, which should have a link on your screen right now. Another change thanks to the very high resolution screen of the Lumia 1520 is the ability to have more tiles on your home screen. You can now have either up to 6 small tiles on the screen, 3 medium tiles, or 1 large and 1 medium or 2 small tiles next to each other. This makes it a lot easier to get your content in one place and to view things on the go. And it's a very welcome change, and hopefully we can see this added to other devices such as the 1020 and 920, whereas it should probably be a resolution restriction and not a screen size restriction. As the Lumia 1520 comes preloaded with Lumia Black and GDR3, you have the option to close apps on the go, and as well as some other nifty software features such as the Nokia Lumia glance screen with notifications on it, which has become really useful and essential in my life. Unfortunately though, there are some drawbacks of having such a high resolution screen, such as apps not being scaled properly. For example, a very popular app, WhatsApp, has some very blurry icons due to them not properly being scaled for the 1080p. You can notice it in the attachment file button and even on the check marks on the screen, which can sometimes come off a little blurry. And for someone who's looking for a very high resolution screen, that does occasionally ruin the glamour of having such a high-res screen, and hopefully Windows Phone and their developers will work on making their apps more suitable to their consumers and for 1080p screens, and who knows, maybe for 2K and 4K res screens as well. The software performance on the Lumia 1520 is the classic Windows Phone software, which has very, very, very few bugs, very little lag, and it's extremely smooth. That's helped with the Lumia 1520's quad-core processor and Snapdragon 800, which makes it fly through tasks, and you very rarely see a resuming screen at all. Instead, apps just resume instantly, and you're ready to go. Unfortunately though, some of the unfavorable parts of Windows Phone have still not been corrected, such as having a proper notification center, or maybe even a proper voice assistant, since, let's be honest, Microsoft Tell Me sucks.
Searching for senseless Yanis Microsoft Tell Me sucks.
Well, close enough. You tried your best. Hopefully though, we'll see a lot of these fixed in the upcoming Windows Phone 8.1 update, which is rumored to bring a proper notification center, a good voice assistant, as well as a lot of other fixes and improvements that I know a lot of us have been waiting for. But in the meantime, if you're looking for the best Windows Phone on the market, get the Lumia 1520. The only reason I would tell you not to get the Lumia 1520 would be if you have really small hands and you can't hold the device properly in your hands. If you'd like to see how Lumia 1520 looks in small hands, I'll drop a link down in the bottom below, which is a little gallery of my friend with smaller than usual hands holding the 1520 device. In other terms, if you're wondering if you should get the Lumia 1520 or another device, unless you really need every last pixel, go for the 41 megapixel Lumia 1020. Other than that, get the 1520. End of discussion. If you can't handle a big screen, then you might want to consider the 925 or the 1020. But other than that, there's nothing really wrong with the 1520. It is the best device you can get out there, and it's not going to disappoint you at all. And you will fall in love with that screen once you see it. That's pretty much it for our review of the Lumia 1520. Hope you guys found it useful. If you have a 1520, let us know what you think about it down below. Are you planning on getting one? If so, what color? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel because that helps me out a lot. And if you'd like to see anything else or more videos, help us out with a like and leave a comment down below. Thanks for watching, guys. See you guys around.